Brody and the Beard gone from Houston? Cole Sports presents on the Daily. Welcome back, VIP, to my channel, Cole Johnson's, right here on the Daily on Tap, presented by Cole Sports. Excuse me for a second. I'm so sorry. I was enjoying some fresh tea. Why? Simple. The Houston Rockets may have come to their senses, but why did it take them so long? So I'm going to do it a little differently. Normally, and we're still going to do it this way, normally we do something of what someone said that makes them absolutely but this is something that an organization has been doing that has caused me to call my squad, the squad that I root for, don't mind saying it in video, my NBA squad, the Houston Rockets. This is why I am calling them for being tone deaf. And to me, this is not even a debate as to why I consider them tone deaf. Why? It is because this is an organization that seemed to be spinning its wheels ever so much. And what do I mean by that? Okay. So you all have heard the scuttlebutt, right? Russell Westbrook, as reported by The Athletic, wants out of Houston. I wonder why he wants out of Houston. Is it because that he gets a chance to actually be the number one player in his own team right now? Is it the fact that he gets a chance to shoot the ball as much as he like? Is it the fact that he gets to be on the ball every single possession the Rockets have on offense? No to all of that. So, of course, since you had Westbrook in his one-year tour of being a Rocket, it didn't really go the way it was planned, and he wants out because he wants his own team. Oh, I'm so sorry. His birthday was this past week. Happy birthday, Brody. We'll talk about your birthday a little later in this video. Now, along with that news, the Beard, James Harden, also said, well, if the team is going to, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm doing it all wrong. The Beard said, quote, if they're going to blow up the whole team, then I will want to be traded to these places. Close quote. I don't know what is funnier or more embarrassing, the fact that you have these guys saying something to some source in the NBA that they want out, or that they can't get along. And I'm not saying get along as in with friends. They're friends off the court. They get along there. But I mean as teammates. That's what I mean. So, just 2.5 years ago, the Rockets were on the precipice of knocking off the team that the former general manager and now president of basketball operations of the Philadelphia 76ers, Daryl Morey, said they were constructed to beat in the Golden State Warriors. Since then, the team has been on a total downward spiral to where we are now. A team that they have made it since then to the Western Conference semifinals twice, but have had poor showings to show for it in each of those appearances. Looking worse and worse by the year. And so here we are. We have all of this. We have this drama. And we're combining a list-like understanding to this because there's 5 reasons as to why I believe the Houston Rockets are dumpster fires or they're at an uncomfortable crossroads. The first was the aforementioned former GM, Daryl Morey. And it started with the fact that the guy created this team is presently constituted to be built like the Warriors. Unfortunately, he built them to be like the 2014 Warriors. And for those who don't know the difference between them then and the Warriors as presently constituted now, the Warriors back in 2012, 13, and 14, when they were under head coach Mark Jackson at the time, they were an ISO team on offense where the offense was run by Stephon Curry dominating the ball, or even Klay Thompson if he had a chance to dominate the ball. Their shooting ability and everything had to center itself around there. And because of it, the offense was stagnant. You did not have any motion. You did not have any fluidity. It was nothing. The offense back in 2014 for the Warriors was not like the offense that you see today, where you see all sorts of motion, all sorts of rhythm, all sorts of backdoor cuts, as aided by the spreading of the floor. I will talk about Mr. Stephon Curry and his influence in the NBA later this week. But Morey saying that the Warriors were the impetus for the Rockets being built the way they were, he did so in an antiquated fashion because he did not keep up with the times. The Warriors tweaked. They tweaked some more. They found their formula, and they ran every team out the gym, especially the Rockets. And the guy built the team by analytics. And what made it so infuriating to me was that he even admitted, quote, "I do not watch the product on the court. I put the team together, and then I sit in the press box and I do not watch the team play." Close quote. That's just some pathetic stuff. It's okay. Enough of Morey because he just gets on my nerves. I can go on with China with him, but I'm not. The second reason why, Mike D'Antoni. The coaching ability, or should I say inability, that he had, that is what I really believe really hurt the organization, because he has a great offensive mind, but the defense, forget it, is optional. And I think one of the worst decisions he made also was to create James Harden to be like the Steve Nash type on the Rockets. And because of that, he gave him too much of a green light, and he gave the rest of the team too much of a green light to shoot threes. Dare I mention Game 7, 2018 Western Conference Finals, where the Rockets bricked, and I do mean bricked, to the point where they built a projects out of it, 27 straight threes in a row. I was basically like this for at least much of the second and third quarters of those shots. No! Adjustment just simply was not in D'Antoni's vocabulary, nor was it in the vocabulary of the rest of the team, obviously. And the style of play, great for October through April, horrible for May and June. You don't believe me? Remind me, what team did D'Antoni lead to the NBA Finals? I'll wait. My point exactly. Third reason as to why I believe that they are in an uncomfortable crossroads, the Houston Rockets. I mean, the organization firing Kevin McHale. Now, he was building a team, actually making Harden the number one guy in a way where he could be awesome off the ball. And the team was on its way there. Now, of course, they had their struggles and hiccups. They fought then the 2017 Spurs to a wonderful series in the 2017 Western Conference semifinals, almost beating them on their home floor in game 5, but a good block by Manu Ginobili pretty much nixed that. But Harden, I guess, to display some things in the years to come, gave us a 10-point, 6 turnover, 6 foul performance in game 6. And then after that, making the club rain at a Houston strip club.
No!
They started the next year, I think it was like 8-10 or 8-11. The organization then fired him, entered Mike D'Antoni, and the downward spiral continued. Number 4, as to why they are at a crossroads that is unbearable for them, Chris Paul's extension that they signed up to 2018, that handcuffed them in any way, shape, form, or fashion, no matter which way they moved. It handcuffed them in the fact of if they kept them on, it was going to be a salary cap albatross for them. If they traded him, they was going to have to trade him and beg for something huge or a whole lot of prospects to come in its stead to make up for that contract. They did get the latter, but they got the latter only for possibly 1 year. And this contract extension that they gave Paul, it was done a month after his 33rd birthday, only weeks after he pulled his hamstring tear in the playoffs against the Warriors.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's just how it was. And then the biggest reason to me as to why the Houston Rockets are at this crossroads, James Harden. Follow me here. And you say, well, wait a minute. He's the best player they've had since Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, sure. But this is what's happened since Harden has been on the team. So his number 2 guy when he got there was Dwight Howard. Should I mention what happened there? Don't have to. Harden didn't like how Dwight was, got Howard off the team, begged, pleaded, and went David Ruffin on the Temptations to Chris Paul to get him to be a Rocket, convinced Paul to sign with the Rockets, and then made the following years probably the worst in Paul's career, not necessarily in numbers, but in regret. And then after the 2019 Western Conference semifinals, when the Warriors bounced the Rockets out of the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years, Harden actually had the nerve, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to say in a press conference, quote, "You all know what the problem is." Close quote.
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
And now we have the 32-year-old Russell Westbrook. 1 year, and now he wants to be God.
You for real?
That's just how it goes. So now it looks as though Mr. Harden is not the guy who is easily able to blend with. Mr. Harden now gets the label of does not play well with others. So the Rockets have cleaned house with Morey. They might as well clean house with getting rid of Westbrook and Harden. But the problems with that is you have a 31-year-old in Harden and a 32-year-old in Westbrook who command a high price tag. And the Rockets are going to have to get something equivalent to that value in return. There are not too many teams who can give you that. So the Rockets might have this same problem come the offseason of 2021. What are they going to do? What are they going to do in 2020? To me, they're going to do this in the upcoming season. And because they didn't head this off 3 or 4 years prior, that's why the team I root for receives the designation of
Tone Dead.
Now, if you want this shirt that you see right before your very eyes, the description box below has all the deets as to where to get it and how to get one of yours. And so if you think that I'm being harsh on the team I root for, you think that, wait a minute, the Rockets are actually on the right track. They actually do have what it takes to right the ship and win.
Oh, no.
Or if you believe, like I do, that the Rockets should just simply blow themselves up, and they have been in this position for at least 4 years. In doing so, either way, like this video. And I want to hear what you have to say, VIP. Please comment below because your comments do matter. And don't forget, hit the notification bell and subscribe to this channel to get any and all premier content from this place that I call home. Because it's your home, VIP. And speaking of home, let me enjoy it. I'm Cole Johnson. Thank you so much for joining me. And this has been yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily.